When you said go, does that mean we're live?
We're live.
Wow, way to switch it up.
Yeah, guys, we're trying something new here. We're trying to seem very amateurish.
Yeah, we gotta keep on our toes.
Okay, welcome everyone to Beasts in the Timetwist. Yes.
Yes.
Of the Timetwist, around the Timetwist, I don't know. Okay, we are back. I'll do a recap of the battle map situation right before we get going, but who wants to recap what happened last session?
Ooh, let me
Was
take a
it
look
who
at these
took notes?
Oh yeah, and someone else should take notes today, please.
Okay. Alright. According to the notes, the party had garnered some more information from the squirrel innkeeper. Offish Garrick preventing ill. Was that like a typo?
Yes.
Probably so.
Okay, of the fish Garrick who's like preventing illnesses from getting worse.
Sorry.
We procured some details about the shadowy druids that were casting darkness and acquiring the halting flame to counteract it, but that's more stuff for the future. We learned as we so the party split up. Some of them stayed went to the temple here, and some went to the place where it turned out that what was his name again? Our leader guy.
Huston.
Yeah, where he had went. They were going to try to find information about the flame. That's where they had learned that information. Meanwhile, Turner and I believe Cashmere stayed behind to kind of learn about the disease, or not the disease, but you know the
Turner and Wade and Cashmere.
Yeah. And they had learned that what he does is he doesn't cure the disease or get rid of anything like that. All he does is basically put the people's like bodies in a sort of stasis. They're still able to move and function, but they don't need to eat or sleep, if I'm correct. And any illnesses that they have or any other plagues are just kind of just paused. Doesn't fix them if they're having problems, but it at least stops it from getting any worse. Party ended up regrouping. We tried to tell him, hey, do you want to really think about what you're doing here? But he kind of just seems like he's sort of being there, not really against his will, because the other people of his god are kind of deferring. Well, they're not deferring to him, but they don't seem like they're forcing him to be there. But at the very least, they seem to be taking advantage and redecorating this church that they're just kind of taking over, like and then the former bishop of this church, or I guess current bishop, came in, starting a scene, trying to get these people out of here. We tried to calm tensions, but it didn't quite work, and so he decided he's going to start beating us up. And so we're beating up him and his brother.
Fair enough, yeah. Reginald Bishop and his younger brother, who also seems to be a clergyman here, Arthurus, came in saying we're taking Garrick, this fish who was associated with Telona, goddess of disease, yet has been placed in here by the townsfolk and the clergy of Chantia, who seem like, okay, I mean, you're doing good work, sure, keep it up. And the party was trying to mediate things. He's like, nope, I'm doing this, and then combat broke out.
I think I could have done better with that recap, but hey.
That's fine.
What was the other guard called? Shell something?
Other guard?
God, my bad.
My purpose.
Chantia?
Chantia, okay, sorry. I had to write those down. Okay.
Cool. We got Garrick up here, symbolized by one of those fishy tokens. Arthurus up there, been doing a lot of healing to Reginald in the middle, who looks injured but not bloodied. His younger brother doesn't seem like he can take as much of a beating. He is bloodied. The gray filled-in hexes are Wade's zone of truth, which seems pretty much everyone who's been exposed to has failed. The big yellow circle are spirit guardians around Reginald. The lesser yellow circles are sort of freestanding effects that are similar spirit guardians about the church. The big blue circle is the reach of a large, persistent, spectral field mouse that Reginald had summoned and is no longer concentrating on. And I've applied a colored aura to each of these spiritual scythe and pruning devices and other agricultural implements that are heading towards each of you that matches your token colors.
Oh.
So hopefully that's a bit easier to see, although there's so many
Oh, I
colors
see
going
now.
on.
Yeah, okay, I see now.
Any other
Guessing
points
this
of-
is the one that's going after Cashmere?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one to the left of it's going after Crim.
Okay, this one's Crim. This one is
one's
Alex.
Turner.
Above it is Alex. Yep.
Okay. And where's Wade's?
Oh,
it's right on top of him.
It's currently
Yeah,
bisecting
Yeah,
his
Wade's
face
got
chicken.
to.
Yeah,
Wade's got to get out of there.
I need to get
Okay.
better eyesight on that. And don't worry, I tend on it. I don't.
Remember, their movement
Here's my-
speed is 15.
Yeah. It was my turn, right?
Yes.
It
Yes,
sure
you're
is.
starting us off.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, Wade gives a little sigh, thoroughly a bit messed up by the fun movement currently slashing him, but he gives a little determined stare. He looks to Crim, Turner, and let's see, I believe also Cashmere. You are valiant as lion, men, stubborn like the wolf. Together against these roosters, we will not bend. And bless on all of them, second level. And then healing word on himself. 4 plus
Too bad we
4.
already started off with inspiration or resolve. Sorry.
Alright, he's back to 16 HP. Then moves 20 feet. Can I move? I can't. Oh, there we are. 20 feet this way, hides behind the bench, takes cover, pass turn.
Who gets the bless?
Cashmere, Turner, and Crim. And Wade.
Okay. Got it.
Trying to find a good indicator use for that one, but I'll just use the wings for now.
If you wish, if you're like, oh, I always forget I'm concentrating on stuff, there's a status you can apply to your own token. It's up to the player casting if they want to.
Or the person receiving the effect. Okay. Mr. Alex.
Yeah, wing seems like a good idea.
This statue thing here is an actual statue that Arthurus has cover behind, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for long. Oh, whoops, let me get rid of that.
Going to move back here, pull out my staff, twirl it around a bit, and electrify the end and basically use it to prod him as I cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
You got a cattle prod. Awesome.
Chicken prod.
Unfortunate that he's
Here's the
poultry
correct.
instead of beef.
That'll probably hit. That is a 21.
Yep.
He has low HP, but his AC is 25.
That is going to be 4 points of lightning damage.
Ow.
And I am actually going to stay right where I am and pass turn.
I don't know if Alex is someone who eats poultry, but amongst that burning feather smell, there is also like a it kind of smells like cooked chicken.
Okay, Turner is going to start by using an action to move the cloud of daggers onto Mr. Chicken Man. Can you see the word anymore? Oh, looks like it just disappeared.
Oh no.
Okay, I'll just put a new one here.
Talking Reginald, right? The big guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd probably kill his brother at this point. Well, either way, it's on him. For some reason, it disappeared. On his turn, he will have to take the damage. And then I will... does Quicken only use one meta magic point? Or does he use two? Cost one sorcerer point. Okay. Alright, I will Quicken to cast another... I always get the two mixed up. Another Chaos Bolt onto him.
Okay.
Alright, so 2d10 plus... Oh, first let me roll to hit. Don't forget your plus die, as Beagle would say. Oof, I might need it. My attack bonus is +6, so 10. That's going to be 13. But I believe I have True Strike, which I don't think I've used yet. Did we determine what his AC was in previous battles? Let me check if it's in the.
I think so, but I
Monster
forgot.
Monster Knowledge. Reginald. AC not discovered yet, but we've deduced that a 16 will hit. And I currently have a total of 13. I'm not going to trust a D4 to land on a 3, so I'm going to use Resolve.
Oh, but you can roll a D4 anyways, can't you? I mean,
What?
but you can
He'll
roll
use
D4
his
anyways.
reaction.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
reaction
got
to True Strike.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and then I got a 19 on the die, so I'm pretty sure that's going to hit.
Yep.
Sunshard 2d10 plus 2d6.
Oh, good. Damn.
Not a good roll at all. 6 and a 1. Those two damage types are. Sorry, guys. This spell's a little complicated. Necrotic or acid.
Chaotic.
We'll do acid.
He says, "Wow, my feathers!"
Tal.
That was an Age of Calamity reference, everyone,
Okay.
which I'm playing right now.
Okay. Turner is going to use his movement to, you guessed it, move. Gonna get a bit more space from this thing. Are these things right here pillars?
Yes.
Okay. He'll kind of like go behind this one, get a little bit of cover.
So, does he have Spirit Guardian stuff? Can you make con save for that?
Right. Thank you. I am bad. Feel free to keep reminding me. Oh, that's not good. Oh no! When he complains about his feathers, the spectral mousies go away.
Nice.
Don't worry, it'll come back next turn.
Yeah, but he'll use his action.
Okay. He is currently bloodied, and on his turn, he will take some dams. Pass turn.
Okay, well, Crim is not in a position where he can safely get to the brother who's probably going to heal, which is unfortunate. But hopefully this will be good enough. Okay, so this guy is 1, 2. Ooh.
How much movement do you have?
Oh, sorry.
Is
I'll get rid of this.
Is it because
Okay,
it's like
there.
difficult terrain to get through there, or?
No, it's because. Well, actually, I have to get away anyway. Yeah, okay. Crim is going to once again jump and glide away. This will provoke. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, he'll swing at you with a mace. Natural 20.
Oh, that'll hurt.
Wait. Let me check something.
Okay.
Sorry. 1 second. Apologies for this.
Crits are max 1 die and roll again. Is that right?
What?
Or you max
So-
the dip.
You max the extra die.
Okay.
That's it.
Crim, watch out! He's striking true. Dodge left. Silver barbs. On one reaction, if you take creature within range of
shit, we
siege, an
have
attack
those
roll
here.
or an ability check.
Oh no.
So the true creature rerolls the d20, uses the new roll if it's lower. You can then choose a different creature you see within range, which has advantage. Yeah, stay yourself, Crim. So disadvantage on that attack roll, and then advantage to Crim.
Damn.
Well,
Wasn't it not? No, my. Oh, never mind.
When you roll a d20, use the new roll, it's lower, right? So I just roll again?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well done! What a supportive lad. Okay, so...
So did you say nat 20 or nat 2? Because that's going to be a very different storyline.
I cut myself off from saying the word so you can't calculate his thing to hit. It's going to be 16 to hit.
That will not hit.
Damn.
Nice
Let me
dodge
double
roll.
check. 16's a number? No, yeah, that's not hitting.
No, I think it's a letter.
Cool.
That's a prevention.
All right. So he's hiding behind the
The statue,
The-
yeah.
the statue, right?
Yeah, so he'll likely get like half or 3/4 cover.
How tall is Crim? Can he loom over and like lion's claw around the tower?
The statue is, I mean, it's pretty big. It's true to the size on the map. So no.
He's also true to the size on the map right now.
I guess you are large. I mean, it's, I don't know, the statue's maybe 7.5 feet tall.
Okay, how about this then? How about with my tail with a reach of 10?
He would still have cover because there's something directly in the way.
Oh no, I meant, can I hit with the claws or
Oh,
like yeah? Is he targetable with claws?
Yes,
is what I'm
yes.
asking. Because otherwise, I'd use my tail, which definitely could with the 10-foot reach thing.
yeah, he's targetable, I think, with claws.
Okay, if that's the case, even with the cover, I'm gonna take that because I don't. What was the rule on ranged attacking for killing? That just kills, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going melee for non-lethal on this
Then we have advantage.
fanatic brother. I dropped my D4.
Oh no!
Did you catch that? Because
Okay.
then you have advantage.
Right. On both?
Only on the first attack.
Okay. Well, I may not need it, but I'll fish for a crit. I rolled 2 nat 18s. Understood. Yeah, that definitely hits. I got a 3 on the blessed die as well.
Okay.
Then the claw attack is... Yes, understood. D6 plus D4 plus... 3. 9's non-lethal slashing damage.
You can see he's on death's door.
No, he's not. And then, with my second strike, with a bonus action... Ooh, that's a good... Oh, that's not a 16, that's a 19. Yes, I did hit.
Mm-hmm.
For an additional non-lethal... that's less, but I don't think it matters in this case. 7 non-lethal slashing damage. As he kind of does some cat swipes and bap, bap, to try to knock him down.
Damn, you erased him, but then he came back.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, knock him down indeed. He is unconscious.
Crim feels a strange urge and he quickly shoves it away like, nope, nope. Okay, he's down. And he turns around. Pass turn.
Okay. Top of the round. Some of these mice scurry to different locations. Oh, and I misspoke earlier. It's this weird fish token that is Garrick, not the humanoid one above.
Oh, okay.
You should make it a gif of that rotating fish.
How about the fish that's like, oh!
I hate that one.
I believe since Arthurus is down, that means it's Cashmere's turn.
Yes.
I need to resolve the layer.
Oh yeah, layer action. Okay.
We're playing them on getting the kill before this turn.
Like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here. Freaking crazy dragon running at me.
Some of the onlookers are still scuffling, preventing the clergy from helping or harming. It's a chaotic scene. One otter is wrestling with a groundhog in robes, saying, no, don't make this worse. Some people are starting to actively flee towards the exit now, but most are watching. These people, they seem to know more than just their station, saying each other's names, etc. Continue to fight. And the weapons approach their targets. T is for Turner. Where is Turner? Turner's far away. Okay.
Down here.
Down there.
If only they could dash.
Oh, what's this? Baldur's Gate? Oh, wait, no, I can't do that. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, Cashmere's turn.
Okay, so he'll start by getting on his tip toes and looking around past the pews and the big dragon, and he'll mutter to himself, okay, I guess they got that. And now he's gonna have to thread the needle a bit if he's gonna want to get to the paladin here. So let me check the distance real quick.
I think it's a cleric.
It's a warlock, actually.
Only paladins can burn spell slots on this. Like this.
Okay, that is the full 45 distance right there. And going over the chairs there, that won't be bad terrain, will it?
I'll say no, because you've got the running star. You could do the easy jump as part of your movement.
All right.
Looks
So,
cool.
with that path, as shown right here, Cashmere will dash in between all these obstacles and land right next to our dear friend Reginald.
Just keep in mind, if you end your turn right there, that thing is gonna be able to get to you.
But yeah, let me double check here, because
15 feet.
So if you're dashing already, that means you might be able to get to this side.
yeah, it might be better just to dash. I think I'm gonna dash. Cashmere will evade all of the obstacles, dashing, and go to the other side of Reginald here. And he will use his final monk point. What is it called?
Key point.
Focus point, not monk point.
Oh,
Excuse me. To do another topple. So that is a dex saving throw. I believe 13.
You have to hit first.
Yeah. And I have to add a 1d4 to this. I'm going to resolve that actually, though. So. That's not better. But let me roll the 1d4.
Maybe.
You get a second attack with it.
Yeah, so first one attack is 12.
That
Man,
gilded leaf shield deflects it. I will remove the person who should not be here, stand out of the way.
Doubt that. And I'll go for the second attack.
Good banter.
I believe we said I had to declare which one is the
I think you
flurry
declare
blows
on a hit.
on a hit. Okay, so if the second one hits,
Hey,
17, and I'll roll the 1d4 for it.
you hit
as well.
for sure.
21, yeah.
We know that the highest you need is a 16.
Okay, so that is a topple. So it's a dex save,
Okay.
and
Probably
we'll
is
go-
more safe.
and punch damage 8.
6.
8 damage, and he's toppled.
Oof.
Still got his fists up. Your brother's down. Can you just stop already, please? And then he ends his turn.
Reginald rolls back warily to his feet. You can see his chainmail has cracked the austere wooden floorboards of
First, you're gonna take some damage.
Yes, thank you. How much Cloud of Daggers damage?
That much.
Ooh.
That's almost max.
Oh. Okay, yeah, he rolls the clink, 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 and all these daggers trying to cut his flesh, and many do. He raises his head defiantly, and what do you call the thing on the top of the rooster? Not the wattle. The crest, perhaps?
Rest.
Think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, crest wobbles kind of, and then straightens with his own visible disdain. Clearly a magical effect. And then his hand, after a gesture, begins to glow with more energy. But he looks towards his brother when you say that, Cashmere. And even as his hand is going towards his own chest with that healing light, he hesitates. And then his posture collapses somewhat. He says, "All right, I yield. Allow me to heal my brother. You would not impede me in that, would you?"
I will. And then he looks to Wade, who's across the building. Do I?
He's telling the truth.
Oh, right. Sure.
Right? The daggers disappear.
Okay.
I accept your yield, even though I don't want to.
Cool. And he stops fighting. Does anyone wish to continue the hostilities?
Well,
No,
here's
all right.
here's an important question. Do these blades still seem to be following us?
No. As he yields, that glowy amber energy and the plants on the walls, everything just seems a little less lively and chills out, in other words, and the blades and everything else fades.
Hills out.
Well, no,
The negotiations were short.
Yeah. You love it.
You just had to.
Wait, he does?
That's your one. That was more excitement than I had ever experienced going to church.
Ah.
I've had better.
Good man. Well, just got sober.
I would have assumed this was a normal affair. You know how they are.
As approximately a minute passes, little light flakes off of Crim as he returns to normal size after the flurry fades.
Garrick, friend, are you alright?
After that healing light,
Jesus.
Paladin's man.
We shall resume combat.
Oh, that was a good one. Good job.
you likely think you're being heroic, meddling in the affairs of a bishop in his own church.
Well,
I
I mean, I
have
wasn't really trying to be a hero about it. It's more like you're kind of getting really aggressive there, and well, one thing led to another.
Pa, I say. Pa.
Well, we have not quite
I did say that.
We haven't quite proved who's right, just who's left. I suppose that's a question for another time.
Crim looks at his paws.
How do the people seem to be reacting to this Rooster's display? Like, are they more supportive, or is it still split, like ambivalent?
The other hostilities have stopped. Those who have remained seem to be seeing this as like a ceasefire, but philosophical or other arguments have yet to be resolved. Some people were fighting for Reginald, some people were fighting for Reginald.
I wonder what Shantae would say.
Crim nervously shrinks back. I'll just be here. Okay. And he kind of trots over to see how the fish is doing.
Crim, why don't you make yourself a little smaller?
He already is.
Okay.
I can't shrink my token.
But I can.
God, why don't you make?
Yeah, when he
your little
shrank, that was
smaller?
what all the lights flaking off of him was for. That's when he shrinks
Gotcha.
down.
Garrick, with multiple hands on him protectively, looks a little shaken up. Thank you, I suppose. I'm not sure how I should be taking this. I just want to keep... And he looks over at Alex. Seems to be turning over the words that Alex had recently said to him. I need to take some time, if I'm permitted, to figure out how to prevent this.
So
Turn
you
watch.
are. You're not. Go on.
Go ahead for Spiegel, then I'll speak.
No, you're not wounded, son, are you?
No, thank you.
If you're curious to learn a bit more about your power, if you have the time, I'd love to be able to do a bit of research on it, to maybe some trials of experimentations. I have a little bit of knowledge in some of these miraculous gifts, but not a whole lot of field practice.
Before you can reply, a few other of the onlookers reply with things like, "We don't want any more commotion in our town. Like, hey, we appreciate it, but from our perspective, not Reginald's perspective, things can keep going. It's working. There's no problems. We've done some of this already." But Garrick does look at you seriously, Turner. Just shrugs, seems to be implying, like, maybe come back later or something like that.
Yes. We'll be in town for at least a little bit longer, but perhaps when things settle down.
Yeah. Reginald pipes up. Before you consider something so drastic as jailing me as a town leader, further hostilities that I think were
I
unnecessary.
wasn't planning on it.
Well,
I didn't think we had the authority for it either.
Okay, so let me see if I get this straight. Your problem with what's going on here fundamentally is the fact that the iconography of Shantea is being replaced with the iconography of somebody else.
that's what it represents, too, good man. It is the town of Chantia. My teachings that I have spread from her to the people, they seem to be taking a back seat in the wake of this inspiring miracle.
It's not just iconography; it's attention.
Yes. It's iconography today, and perhaps tomorrow we all worship Talona, and we just want this clearly troubled young lad to be leading us, or something similarly unwell in thought.
Well, I don't think he's going to be leading anybody.
Some chuckles from other people who aren't Reginald.
There's nothing against him.
That is a good
What do
point.
you-
It's not really leadership, it's a band-aid. That's all it is.
Fitting. Do you have any suggestions, Alex, for how we should proceed?
No, I don't.
With all due respect, I don't think it's really our place to dictate what this town becomes, who it decides to worship, and what their philosophy is. I'm more interested in knowing the potential ramifications of his abilities. And if they are true.
Yeah, I'd say we have just as much of a say as anybody else here. I
we
mean,
don't live here.
Yeah.
yes,
this
but we help.
really is not our concern.
I guess we did help a little briefly, but
I'd say our opinion still matters.
I can only offer my 2 copper on this, but Reginald, if you're a corpsman, you go wherever there are people who need helping, correct?
I've never been a military man.
Oh, sorry, no, wrong person. Sorry,
Garrick.
Fish. Garrick, sorry.
No problem. I've never been a military
Mm,
Right, that's what got me into all of this. I just answered a call. I didn't care who it was.
Well, you've done a lot of good work here, but your work need not be in the town of Spinning. Perhaps you could go travel and take your gift to other places. I assume, Reginald, you wouldn't mind his attention being taken away if it was only for a week or 2 before they hit the road.
Oh. Please roll a persuasion check with this new idea.
Yay! Gotcha. Plus 10, babies. Come on, Wade. First roll of the session, you got this. Aha! Yeah! Good start.
Not bad.
You can tell something is not considered before. Valandra is my home. I suppose I would be able to do this for more people. There's immediate objections from those around him, like, "No, we're just getting started here. Word is already spreading. There's already a queue again outside." And he thinks about this. Maybe someday, if that's okay. I won't abandon the people here, though, in this region, who need me just yet.
Fair.
Excuse me. Oh, you first.
No, go on. No, you go on. I know.
Mine is going to be a pivot.
Does it involve Reginald?
It involves the worship of a certain god.
Okay, go ahead.
Gotcha. I'd say it's just an idea. But you were saying, Crim?
Well, I did have one question. So you seemed like to hesitate in answering it before, but is there a reason you worship that particular god of disease and things like that? I know that it's not necessarily bad to, send word to that god now and then. When I used to be very sick, and well, one of the gods associated with, asking for mercy is that one. So I understand, but, just curious why.
As a kid, some people I knew got very sick, and other deities aren't able to help them. When I started working in the wake of the Misozu occupation, and the wounds would come in and some would get infected, some wouldn't. I saw some nasty things. Who better to ask to spare them than the deity whose domain it is infection. And I'd like to think that
so.
my rapport, it did help.
Sorry you went through all that, lad. Deserve better.
Crim seems satisfied. He doesn't ask further questions.
It looks like he wants to connect with you more, Wade, about that, but he doesn't say anything. And then Reginald will say, "Well, it is clear that if Shantae is not on my side right now, perhaps some more thought and planning is in order. I shall take my leave and leave you to your new ways, my compatriots and townsfolk."
It's not that Shantae is not on your side, it's just maybe there's just a disagreement for this specific approach.
Yeah, I think the problem is you're going about it a bit wrong. You're trying to force people to agree with you. That tends to not work very well.
Hey, you weren't here. I tried sermons. This has been going on for days now. This is the latest escalation. I had to do something.
I think, like I said, the problem is you're rushing it too much.
I will admit that it's a little odd to be taking down all the iconography of your local god in favor of the one of disease. I figured you'd set up another building for this sort of thing, and I mean, if it's popular enough, you'd set up you'd get the funding for something like that with donations. I don't see what's wrong with having the god of harvest and god of disease in the same town, especially since, from what I understand, he nods, the prayer to the god of disease is to fend off disease, and that'd be great for bounty, wouldn't it?
He
Turner just kind of mutters, "Guess I'd make him the god of pesticide."
Wow.
I'm working on DEET. It's the perfect marriage of the two deities. There's some thoughtful, constructive talk amongst the people, Reginald included at that, like, yeah, maybe it could be both, but hey, no, we're not going to try. Isn't this going to scorn Talona to not house this miracle worker in the greatest temple we have right now. It's like back and forth, but yeah, we could find a new place, construction. And it seems like this has sparked, as I said, a more constructive discussion with folks. But Reginald's itching to dip. He seems
Crim just kind of gives an awkward, encouraging smile to Reginald, but otherwise says nothing.
Yeah, heading out.
Cashmere just rolls his eyes. He doesn't get religious folks.
If you're heading out, good luck, friend. You do good work, just don't start a war you can't win. Speaking from experience.
Yeah, he nods sadly when he takes in your meaning. As things progress, he sort of motions subtly to you, Alex. Garrick does, like he wants to talk with you off to the side privately.
Okay.
When he's gotcha, he pulls out a knife. No, I'm just kidding.
What, like 1d4 plus 5?
Son, I regrow this limb.
Hey, you told me, well, you told them and me, I should do what I want, what I feel is right, twice. I know what that means. Obviously, it makes sense. In these last few days, I can't do it. It's hard to explain. I just feel different. Does that make sense? Has that ever happened to you?
I don't know about having that specifically happen. But I have had people tell me what I'm supposed to do with my life. I'm more than familiar with that. And it seems to me like that's a lot of what's happening to you right now.
Yeah. What did you do? How did you handle that? Because that is very much my life right now.
Decided I wasn't going to deal with it anymore. I left.
Can you imagine if you instead said, "And I killed them all"?
the woman and the children, too.
Turner's actually just kind of watching that one, just a little bit surprised by Alex kind of mentioned that, but he just kind of just listens for the time being.
You left your community, the people who were telling you to do that. Is that right?
Oh, Doc.
You cut out. You cut out, Doc.
Dramatic silence.
No,
Oh.
I never agreed to be the person they said I was. Wasn't my responsibility.
I see. Well, that's a bit where we differ. I want to be this for them. I've always wanted to be as helpful as I could. And hey, like I said, maybe that's why this happened. But I'll have to think about that. I don't want them to... Yeah,
Take advantage of you.
exactly.
They will. They always do.
Got it. Thanks. He drags himself back towards everyone else, and the queue grows again. Yes, Cashmere?
I was gonna have Cashmere slip right on over to Turner, next to him, for just a short second.
Mhm.
So, Cashmere gonna slip over to Turner, and, lean his head over and lower his voice. Have you noticed a pattern yet?
Do you mean of us stumbling into other people's problems? And
Well,
to fix it?
That, and also the ones with these powers. Have you noticed it yet?
Yes, I very much have.
Yeah. Garrick here cared a lot about helping people. Has for a while. Inshu hated people. And then he got the power too. Wonder what that means.
Two very
Mm-hmm.
very different philosophies in life, two very different motives. It's hard to
Well,
say.
Of course, but they both also cared a lot about it, I guess.
They were certainly very passionate.
Passionate. What are you passionate about, Turner? Since now you have this power too.
Putting me on the spot there.
Sorry, but kind of important.
Well, I suppose all this knowledge that I have, I want to prove that it was worth achieving.
And that knowledge won't lead to people getting killed, right? I mean, I'm not assuming. I'm just making sure.
Well, as much as I would like to say that would never happen, we live in a dangerous world and, well, we've had to defend ourselves numerous times, but no, I do not plan on going power mad, if that is what you're worried about.
Good, good. Me neither. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome. If I ever, well, mustaches probably wouldn't really be a thing in this world. I was gonna say if I ever grow like a mustache and start twirling it, but that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
Well, if you ever see me, cackling menacingly, feel free to punch my beak.
That would be something to say, but noted. My punches hurt, by the way.
I know, so please do not do that unless I'm going mad and need to be stopped.
Gives a thumbs up.
As the party step out into the light and leave further events here to transpire as they would, or something different?
No shit moving. I'd say time waits for no man, but
Hey.
Crim will try to think back to what he might have experienced during that his time being sick, and any of the religious items or things like that were used to like aid with him, like all that, the more benevolent iconography of the god of disease. And you try to give suggestions to the townsfolk that our fishy friend would be more hesitant to speak up on, to help find a place that is not intrusive to introduce the iconography of that god to the town without impeding on the existing god of bountiful harvest and stuff like that. So it's kind of like an academic, historical, has this worked before? What are ways we can do this? Thought of suggestions.
Suggestions to establish a new place here for Telona that isn't all like poison, death, disease, you mean?
Yeah, like
Okay.
preventative stuff.
Okay.
God of disease, sure, but also, god of not
Yeah.
disease.
Yeah. So we're like, whoa, that's deep. No.
Has Bose discovered germ theory yet?
Yes.
I
if
think
they have.
so, actually,
Looking for
yeah.
the lore. Okay, yeah. So you're like, okay, maybe less about the poisons and the black tinted flowers and stuff, and more about how to handle that and shade.
Wash your
right?
hands, people.
Yeah. Some person's like, yeah, we could set up a little gazebo near the river. It's shady. You could also wash your hands. Telona would approve. It's like, yeah.
Don't overwork me. I only want to make some people sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the gist of what Crim does. He might he might linger for a while, but eventually he'll leave. He'll kind of forget he's a dragon for a bit, and then eventually trot out.
Yeah, some people they welcome your suggestions. This is a new frontier for them, and this confidence you've shown in combat and then afterward is appreciated. Note that down. Okay. After perhaps deflecting or answering some questions from those outside, is everyone okay? What's going on? Is Garrick still taking people? The remainder of the later afternoon is yours.
Suppose we can.
Well, Huston wanted to see us, but my guess is that probably took too long.
We weren't fighting for too long. We did get a little. I got a little distracted. Let's just speed walk and see how that's going.
Yes, we can. Light up the flame. We get a little rest, and then back to the road.
It seems a lot longer than it actually is when you're fighting for your life, but
By the way, that fighting, I'm very hungry, so I'm gonna probably think about meal prepping for lunch.
Are you the normal type of hungry?
What?
As in, not your special diet? Yes.
Oh no, with what? Oh, just food. It's fine. I haven't done that since that one wild attack. It's fine.
Ah, good. Food isn't expensive.
Does that mean you were going to head to somewhere to eat? Or are you going back to the room and try and cook stuff?
Crim will come along for this, but he's going to be thinking about. He's going to be like looking around as they're going for like good supply shops for food and stuff. For
Okay.
just it's mostly flavor, just what he's thinking on.
Hey, flavor. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Hell yeah!
Alright, he's gonna be the party cook this time.
Oh no.
I have the chef feat.
Oh, hey! Now you
Crim
say.
has no actual experience with it, but I mean, look at his stat block. He's absolutely a foodie. So I think Crim and Alex are going to be great friends.
Okay, are you heading back to the lamplighter where Huston was?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay. We're returning to the bustling Miller Square, all these shops, and then this one that is fairly popular right now. And you are hearing rumors, word on the streets, people idly meeting for lunch and such are talking about these druids of the dark and Masozu and the halting flames. There's also a couple mentions of the brouhaha, and people are wondering when they will return.
I'm sorry, brouhaha or boohaha? Because considering the frightening druids, it could be either.
Brouhaha.
Okay.
And
Boo ha ha. Okay.
I guess everyone roll a history check if you wish.
On which
History.
But brouhaha,
Can I roll with advantage?
you succeed.
Okay.
I'll hold off.
Sorry.
No, it's fair.
Only did that one, it's
check.
like,
Oh
okay.
man.
It's like we have like a
Well, I mean-
brain fart. Like,
In fairness, there are reasons why he might have not got a great result, but I just thought at least advantage.
11. Cashmere.
For this, yeah. Okay.
Only a 9. This is not something Crim looked into very much.
8 for Alex.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm holding off.
Okay. So we got 11, 8. What did Crim get?
9. I rolled a 4.
Okay. That is enough for everyone to recognize the name Brouhaha. They're basically a nomadic group of tinkers that travel around Bose with a particular set of philosophies and tend to feature a lot of corvids, like crows, for example. But you wouldn't know about most of you wouldn't know more about their details or patterns or other stuff with those results.
Upon hearing about it, Turner would try to think back in his head. Would it be likely that they are in this region at this time?
You would know it's certainly possible. There is little rhyme or reason to their direction. It follows spicy new developments, calls of need, seasons, and whimsy. Okay, entering back in, you see that Owl still talking with Huston. Both of them look a bit more fatigued for it. It's been probably like an hour since you guys were last in here.
Well,
But there is a product with a pole that looks like it's meant to be mounted on a wagon, and you see it looks like a fairly ordinary hooded lantern. But the base of it is plump, like there could be housing some special fuel or mechanics within it. It's currently off, so it's not shining any light. And there's some stacks of gold coins and platinum coins on the table. They look like they've come from Huston, because his coin purse is next to it. He welcomes you over.
So what's the situation on this?
1 sec, let me remember how Huston talks.
Gotta check his voice doc.
Gotta check his stat block for my accent inspiration. Yes, that character. Okay. Anyone play Neverwinter Nights?
I have not.
Okay. It's like Baldur's Gate, old school, like Baldur's Gate 2 era, perhaps. Good voice acting. Anyway. Oh, welcome. Just finishing up, the necessary details, minutia, caravan master stuff. Nothing too exciting. The owl nods in agreement.
Fair enough. You have the supplies we need?
I've been working on this all afternoon. At least the afternoon we've been here. That's fine work. Haven't had a chance to get feed for the lizards or look at any dinner menus. How about you?
If you need help, I can help pick up the slack. We had a bit of an interesting visit to the church. But it's all resolved now.
at first it sounds like Crim is growling, but then you realize that was not his mouth. And then his cheeks quite literally light up like a fluorescent light. Some of his scales, he's like, oh, thinking about some food.
Well, don't make a meal out of our bounty here. Speaking of which, Huston, or he kind of looks to the person he's negotiating with.
You look at her a bit more closely, Mr. Turner, and double check one thing. I believe you would recognize her.
Oh.
I believe indeed you would. Checking one thing.
Huh. I generally don't know where this is going. Let's find out.
Yeah, she's a barn owl. She looks somewhat older, 50s. Yeah, you do recall her. Should do this in DMs or verbally? Let's just go with verbally unless you wish it to be close to your chest.
I'll be honest, I don't know where exactly this is going, so I'll trust your judgment on this.
Okay. It will elicit some pieces of Turner's history.
Okay. I guess send a quick DM and we'll go from there. Sorry, I just don't know. I have an idea where she might be from, but that's about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink 1 sec.
Okay, then feel free.
Okay, she says she squints and then her eyes open real big, which is... Oh, I should probably wait for Bugle. And then she freezes dramatically.
And there he is.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, so she squints, then her eyes open quite wide, which is wide for an owl, that's for sure. And she tilts her head and looks at you, Turner. Oh, it's you! Hey, how long ago did you leave the brouhaha then?
He kind of like looks at her for a quick moment. Maybe some vague recollections. More than a few years for now. How have you been?
Oh, good. Came here, helped co-found this business. It's going well. Did you find a name yet?
Yeah, I did.
That fucking makes sense now. God damn it.
She looks expectant.
Just kind of looking around the others a bit like a bit put on the spot here. I'm Turner.
Huh. And if I'm sorry, am I being too upfront? We don't have to talk. Could talk another time too.
I suppose. Sorry. So it's like you kind of when you meet someone like yeah, you maybe like a former coworker and like trying to ask them trying to tell them you forgot their name but you don't want to sound like rude about it.
Oh yeah, I have it all the time.
That's kind of like where he is right now. What about you?
Oh. She studies you, and says in perhaps a kind way, "Oh, nothing too exciting, just old Hoopero. I don't have your naming conventions, and I was only there for a little bit. Hey, don't worry about it. We can get back talking to business. That's what we should do anyway. But congratulations, Turner."
Yeah, thank you. Do you mind if I take a look at that?
She smiles knowingly and allows you to.
I'll get to it.
As you're looking at it, she says that, in fact, some other folks from the Brouhaha, when they came by in response to this problem, the Dark Druids, that is, they're the ones who fixed up a prototype that we've been able to replicate and allowed our business to thrive.
Sounds about right, but I'll need a few minutes here to concentrate if you don't mind.
Okay. Go ahead.
I was just gonna have Cashmere turn and stare at Crim with narrowed eyes.
Grim shrinks back, looking very small.
He doesn't say anything, not yet. But he has his eyes on him. Then he looks back. Continue.
Huston and Hoopero keep talking about figures and seem to settle on a rental of a month. There's some talking about how long exactly after that, rates, lump sums. Huston says something about, I'm expecting lots of good sales this year. Sure, we could do it. A deal is made. And Turner, are you studying this to figure out how it works?
Yeah, he's just gonna be ritually casting Identify on it.
Oh, okay.
So he's
I would
got
also
a bit of
allow a
fascination with this.
Tinker's Tools check if you wish.
Oh, I guess that could be quicker, but is that intelligence?
I'm sure.
So 4 plus 3. Is our proficiency 2 right now? Plus 2?
Yes.
Okay, so it's plus 6. Well, unfortunately, that's only a 10. So
Okay.
with that, failing that, he'll do the Identify.
Okay.
He's got a cheat button.
Yeah, from tinkering with it a little bit, taking it apart, you get that there's some sort of special apparatus built into it, but don't really understand how it works. And after finishing Identify, I shall post in loot, even though it's not technically loot, what this is.
It's temporary loot.
I see. Oh, do you want to put that in Foundry chat as well?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
For the fans.
Or you can see it if you join the Discord.
Yeah. In fact, no more Foundry. You can see it if you join the Discord.
Yeah, in fact, we're gonna just like dim the screen. Eventually, this will work.
Cool. And then after that, happy to gloss over meals, logistics, shopping. As you probably saw in the Discord, handling most shopping out of game between sessions. I don't find it a great use of session time. Certain important things, of course, we could do in session. Yeah, but if anyone wants to have a scene or spend time in town doing a specific thing today, I could certainly handle that.
He ain't played D&D until you watched your druid spend half an hour buying a quarterstaff.
At some point, maybe like in the early evening or so, whenever Garrick is done, he would ask if he can spend a bit of time to kind of like maybe research that power. He'd ask if Crim and or anybody in the party with more of like a medical mind would want to assist him with that, to kind of like get a bit more of an understanding about this ability. And
Crim will admit that while he's probably knowledgeable about the academics behind it, in terms of the actual practice of medical application, he's kind of like he's not good at that. He's actually -1 on medicine.
But at the very least, he has like a mind for like magic and stuff, so
That's true. He's got Arcana at least.
he always knows when to appreciate a good second opinion.
Okay. And was it you, I believe, you cast Identify on Garrick earlier to understand things
Not
too?
on Garrick himself, but on one of the on his enchantment on one of those people.
His victim. Okay.
Yeah, depending on your perspective, and depending on how this person uses their remedy.
Okay. Yeah, you could choose to wait in line or not. Eventually able to see him just as he's winding down for the day, as the sun does. But he would certainly submit to any brief questions or scrutiny, or at least the guardians around him would permit such.
Maybe he just asked them if, say, like, maybe a bit more of like a relaxed atmosphere. Go to like maybe like the tavern where they're staying or something like that, where they can maybe buy him a meal for the night or something while they pick his brain, if he allows it.
It's pretty tricky. He's got a following who wish to protect him. He's a local celebrity. People are constantly plying at him. Could you please roll persuasion, intimidation, to try and get him alone for a while?
Intimidate.
If you want, I can try and work something, but you also do it.
Well, I didn't have the foresight to ask Wade to come along for that, so I'll just have to accept the consequences.
Let's
I
keep
have a neutral charisma, so it's however the dice land. 14.
14.
Not the worst roll.
You're able to steal 5 minutes of please no interruptions from anyone, give us some space, actually talk to this guy rather than all the other people he's intertwined with now in this new situation.
One question that Turner would kind of would ask him is, how did it feel the first time that he used it, and does he like feel a certain calling to keep using it, like not just from his own like passion or desire to help, but like more of like an impulse or a compulsion to do it?
He tells you no, but he's always felt compelled to be good and to help people. And indirectly, he feels compelled to protect the power so that he can keep doing what he's doing. But he seems uncertain as he usually does. He doesn't feel like he's driven by something different.
Does he recall how he felt the first time he did use it?
He understood exactly what it would do, and he was pleased that it worked.
Okay.
He would go on, though, to say, nonetheless, he feels like he's he said he talked about it with Alex a bit privately. And things are different now. He kind of seems uncomfortable and clams up.
Terra knows that he's not really the silky tongue type, so he'll not push too far.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything particular? Or shall we keep going?
I had a thing. I want one more thing.
Was it the thing with Crim?
Yes. What is Crim doing right now?
Dang, I thought we were gonna beat another random bunny.
Crim is currently like just kind of listening in on stuff, probably thinking about books. But
Oh, I
now
mean,
he's
like,
probably looking. He's looking through his bag, not doing much. He's kind of idling while everyone else is wrapping up.
I mean, just like in general, like as the day is winding down, like what is he up to?
Oh, he'd probably be looking around for meal prepping now that he got his book from this area. He's like, all right, food time. I'm hungry.
Okay. I'm gonna have it so just for a little bit, Cashmere's tailing him, just out of sight, kind of.
Don't worry, his passive perception's -1. He doesn't notice.
He's kind of waiting for Crim to notice, and when Cashmere notices that Crim is not noticing, he will pop down from wherever he is and basically land right next to him.
That earns a shriek and what is almost a caw before he realizes that it is just Cashmere.
He gives.
Hi! Is something wrong? Did something happen?
No. But I did have a question for you, Crim. Crimson Lightwing, you know?
Uh-huh.
So, before I do this, can I roll a history check for bird naming conventions?
Ooh.
Ooh.
We're doing this, are we? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what he knows.
Hmm.
That's a 12.
Bird naming conventions.
Or not just conventions, but also like how culturally those bird names work.
You do know, 12, there's something funky about this brouhaha, which has a bunch of magpies, blue jays, crows. But just like the brouhaha, there isn't anything universal in both for, like, avians. It really would depend on the culture, the part of the world, just like for most other species. I know that's kind of a bummer answer.
Yeah, and he frowns at that kind of knowledge. He doesn't really know much. So he asks Crim. So, question for you. You chose your name, right? I'm assuming.
Yes, which one do you mean? I mean, yes, my name is Crimson Lightwing.
I know that. And you chose that after you transformed. Is that right?
And it looks around. They're not being listened to much. Well, yes. It sounded cool.
Well, that is true. It is cool. I'll give you that. I'm just wondering, because, I don't know, with the conversation with Turner and that owl, I never realized how strange avian names can be, you know?
Oh, yeah, I can kind of understand that.
Right. And, it wouldn't be culturally, what do you call it? Rude to ask what your first name was?
Oh, well, I guess it would be fine.
I'm just curious. You don't have to throw
I
yourself out
understand.
there. Yeah.
Okay. And then he does something that when it comes to introducing someone's name, it's not what you'd expect. As he says, well, you see, my name is... And then he raises his paw, and then with one claw up, he makes a gesture as if he is a conductor. And you hear 3 chirps. That's, my name. The chirps is like a da-da-da, but in a chirping sound. If you were to, translate it to common, which I can't really do the real version anymore, I can't say my own name. That's kind of sad, really. But if you translate it to common, it's Fa-Fa-Mi.
Cashmere will blink and stare slack-jawed for a moment, and then will also raise his hand and say, Fa-Fa-Mi.
Yes, I can't do that too often, actually, but I haven't been doing the bird song recently. It's a little item I picked up a while back, and I ate its magic so I could at least do a little bit of high chirp.
So you can do some?
About 10 times a day. That was one.
He blinks again.
Look, high chirp is very high. I can't get to those tones. I'll sound like I have a speech impediment. It's embarrassing. So I just lost being able to speak it. I can understand it just fine, but I picked up scale. That's easier.
It can't be that embarrassing. I mean, I'm just confused about only being able to do it a certain amount of time. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Interesting.
I mean, can you imagine not even being able to say your own name?
I mean, no, but I was just curious.
Yeah,
Crim.
I guess it was just the price of getting a second life. Kind of had to do away with a lot of the first, including a lot of the belongings. Oh,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those books.
I understand what you mean. You know, when I was trained as a monk, I kind of had to understand that too. You know, leave all your belongings because you don't need them.
Did you also
Something like
have to
that.
meditate on top of a tree for 5 days? I heard that's something that sometimes they do.
Sometimes I didn't really care for it. I don't have the patience for it. Do you think it'd be rude to ask Turner the same thing?
Oh, about the brouhaha.
Well, no, not that. His name, you know.
Well, I can't really say for sure. I only know a little bit about them. Something about choosing their name. I think it's a little more precious than that. For me, it was more out of necessity since I couldn't say the old one, and I guess I had a bit of a phase where I thought my old self was weak and not to be thought of, but I grew out of that pretty quickly because I felt bad. But, you know, I think it's different for him. You might need to just ask him directly. I mean, we're kind of friends at this point, right?
Sure. I consider you a friend, Crim. And Turner.
Oh, thank
And
you.
Alex and Wade. We're friends.
I guess you could ask him. He might have some ideas. I just never really thought of it. Just his name.
Maybe sometime. Okay. I'm gonna go now. Have fun
Okay.
doing
I'm
what
gonna
you were
keep looking
doing.
for food. I think I found a good one. Maybe Alex can also help cook.
Good idea. Bye. He'll rush off.
Okay.
You've achieved support C. Actually, this is
That would be B actually now, because we already got C.
Yeah.
And yeah, in case anyone was confused, that birdsong conductor thing, one of the we got to have one magic item with us each, and mine was the Staff of Bird Calls, which Crim absorbed, and now he just can do that.
but
10
now you
times
got
a
on
day.
soundboard.
So that's how he does high chirp, more or less, or at least basics of it.
Crim installed a soundboard.
A bird exclusive soundboard.
Come to the air horn again.
It's Murdoch.
He's a good boy.
That's all I have, I believe.
Okay. Cool. And you're able to spend a pleasant evening in Valandria. For the sake of time, pacing, it's the next day. Huston would request at least one extra full day. Because, don't forget, the reason we're traveling to all these towns is to sell the silk they have.
Oh, yeah.
And he would be negotiating with a couple store owners, asking you to help unload some of these skeins of silk onto store racks. You're basically not hired, but utilized, because you're already hired for manual labor. Huston's like holding a pocketbook close, inking in some figures as he chats with all these people. It's a boring day, but according to him and the numbers he's gotten by the end of it, there, like he predicted, is a good amount of silk demand in this region. And he says they made 3,125 gold pieces, so
Jesus Christ.
per the contract, 20% each, 625 to the party, you would each get 125 gold pieces.
Math.
I hope like the reveal was like for PMD, like Port Mystery Dungeon, like when you get your first reward. It's like
Oh, yeah.
300 gold.
10%.
3,000 gold? Yeah, you get 125.
Where's our gold? 125, you said.
Yes.
There's all icons of us with like sparkling eyes.
Nice.
Damn, that means I have
Ironically,
28
Crim's
gold.
not as attracted to gold. It's gemstones specifically, but he knows it's useful.
So 230 plus 120, 125 gold for all of us?
Yes.
Gotcha, thanks.
And you're able to resupply, do any between session shopping, etc.
Something for later.
Good time for a break.
Yeah, anything else before we head out of town?
Since we have an extra day, Crim's kind of, if there's like not much else, Crim it seems a little more comfortable in this small town and what happened, and that he kind of already broke his silence. So he goes over and helps out with any possible planning for the Temple of Disease and stuff like that for the day. He just does that. Nothing. You can gloss over that, but that's just what he does.
Okay.
Turner would just kind of be like trying to think back to the moment where he used his power, try to maybe think of, was there anything that he noticed about how he felt, or just he's just like wondering. He's still kind of just like thinking about the potential side effects that might occur from it, or just things to be mindful of.
For yourself, right?
Yes.
Are you using the power?
Not currently. He's just kind of trying to think back to what he did.
Yeah.
But if nothing, then nothing. He also knows that,
Yeah.
one experiment doesn't always give you a lot of information.
Yeah, maybe if you really imagined hard, you felt different, but maybe it's your imagination. You need more data, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. So,
If that's all, yeah, I'm down for breaksies if y'all are.
Rocks.
Okay. BRB. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the B Zone, also known as BOS. I'll be your host with the most... Okay, I'm done.
Stop.
It is the next day.
the most roast.
Alex is able to determine there will be some light rain today, sort of like misty rain, not the sort of big pellets of rain, but the sort of rain that's like, oh man, I'm going to get soaked if we keep walking for another hour or two. And today's a day of travel, so soaked you shall be, unless you take special measures.
I have a hat.
Right, you are not
Crim
soaked.
has scales. He's fine.
That's Mizozu for you. You ran into all kinds of rain. Little itty bitty rain, big old fat rain, And this is gonna go straight up. Does everyone get that? Forrest Gump.
I never watched the movie.
Wow.
We should get it. We're uncultured.
I know of it. I know a lot of the main beats, but anyway.
Okay.
Cashmere is wet, but he does not care.
Cool. As you head out, oh, wait, are you traveling in your uniform or not?
No, I should get back into my civvies for this. I don't want to hide, but I also don't want to burden you all with that.
How much would an umbrella cost?
3 copper.
Turner's gonna buy an umbrella.
Hold on.
You know what? He'll buy 5, 1 for each person. Y'all have an umbrella, yay.
I don't want one.
You're all getting, you're all
I
getting
don't think
an
Crim needs
umbrella.
one.
Okay,
Alex,
fine.
Getting an umbrella!
Fine. I'll buy 3 umbrellas and give a copper tip. 'Cause I don't-
Could wait sorry. Should we get like the army poncho?
Sure, yes.
Look, guys, I do not want to have to count copper right now.
What are the designs of the umbrella?
They have swirly patterns on them, so they.
Ooh.
Yeah, they spin themed.
If we spin it fast enough in combat, does it do a hypnotic pattern as a spell?
If you cast it using the umbrella, yes. Oh, that reminds me of Kung Fu
Creamsicle.
Panda 2, the peacock villain, his tail. It's like basically a hypnotic pattern.
Oh man.
Anyway. Okay, so you are in your civvies and your poncho. Old habits die hard, I guess, for Wade. And music change. The next day, back on the road, Huston says they should be good if the rumors are what they are, and you've got the halting flame. Darkness won't be a problem. Should be able to see and avoid hazards. And they're planning to cut directly east by southeast, more or less, towards Sunflag in the far southeastern corner of Masozu. It's a city or town, really, that's truly in the corner of the world. But he says it's been there before, it's civilized enough. And there'll be silk to be sold and money to be made. I would like... Oh no, we're not there yet. First, I wanted to do just a bit of a lore drop, rather than just leave it all in text. Have some in session to refresh your memories. So, Bose. Hundreds of years ago, in the timeline of this world, there was a civilization called Syndia that was founded by a river otter, because river otters are the best, named Devron, who had the idea of, okay, we're a bunch of different animals that have our preferred climates and ways and diets and whatever, but what if we could be more than the sum of our parts? What if we, utilized everyone's strengths and shored up each other's weaknesses and made a society that wasn't just, okay, yeah, the squirrels tend to live in these treetops and the moles tend to live in that soil. And thus Syndia was born, again, hundreds of years ago. And then, this is a story that we've already experienced, some of us, in a different adventure, but there was the scatter, something mysterious happened, apocalyptic energy, and Karifi, which was the capital of Syndia, which on the map would be right here.
Well,
Eastern coast of Lake Limini.
just so you know, the map right now, it's like, unless it's fine for you guys, right now it's just like a big blue screen for me.
Yeah, that's
I
okay
can
with me.
see the map fine.
It's floated
let me-
for me, yeah.
Let me refresh.
Okay. Take a look at
There
the
we
eastern
are.
side of Lake Limini.
Okay. Please ping that. Oh, right here, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That capital city was mostly destroyed, and these lines of energy scattered all across the world like lightning, these carved chasms in the landscape. And then there was also the loss of all the technology, the libraries, philosophy changed, people became disillusioned, like if this is what happens when we come together, perhaps we should go apart. For 121 years, Bose was a colder world of measured distance. There was more individualism and tribalism. We call that the Scattered Era. But then the Song of Bos fought off some invaders, revealed the truth, and more recently, we are in a time called the Sprouting Era, where the general philosophy isn't, yeah, everyone unite and help each other, but it also isn't, let's totally leave each other to our own devices. It's a place where there aren't countries and borders, and people love their own kind, but respect and generally are totally fine with others too. So Bos is in a transition period, and I would say for the better if you're a fan of diversity. Does that all make sense? Did I stumble over anything crucial? Cool.
Makes sense to me.
And not like any of this will be relevant. I just felt like dropping a little lore,
No, what about the war?
War.
War never changes.
The other war.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2 wars.
A lot of wars.
Halfway through the next day, Huston would start to teach you all a bit about the silk. What better way to spend the time than to learn exactly about what you're transporting? He says he would teach you all how to do an inventory check, sort of review the quality. And looking in these barrels and crates, you would see these skeins of silk, which means they're kind of like braided and spooled around these rollers, is how the silk is stored. He would teach you how to check for moth eggs, to check for nibble marks, making sure there's no pests, make sure there's no mildew growth on them. He would reveal he's got a handy fish scale, and he tells you now it's magical, actually checks the humidity. He would say, hey, you, why don't you try pulling that out, test the tensile strength of that one, write it down in this log. We got to ensure there's no degradation. And his passion for all of this, and his skill at it too, shines through. For anyone who wishes to participate, to see how good they are, if they have a hand for this, please give me a skill check. Something else if you think it's appropriate, but Weaver's tools, proficiency would be the best. It would be an intelligence-based check. Or wisdom, actually.
Or wisdom.
I'm guessing this is probably not the type of thing that would make use of tinkers or jewelers.
Afraid not.
Okay.
Usually better delegating others for this, but I'll give the old college try.
So just flat intelligence?
Yeah.
Or wisdom?
Or
Or
wisdom.
wisdom, yeah.
Okay, I'll go wisdom then.
Alright, because Crim
yeah.
is a dragon with very sharp claws, he rolled a nat 1.
Well, that's a win.
Test that.
Wisdom.
Oops, it's severed.
Would history be a plausible one?
That is a nat 20.
Jesus.
No, I don't think history plays into the
Okay.
care of this in inventory.
I just had to try something. We'll go with just a flat intelligence.
That'd be
And I
it.
also got a nat 1.
And yeah. I mean, for lore reasons, can you have my roll? I think that makes more sense.
Us Talon folks are just not in it.
Not allowed to trade rolls. Sorry, sir. What did Alex
Is
get?
what it is.
19.
19. Okay.
Damn, like
Wait,
the
wait,
two
oh,
the two intelligence-based characters are the ones who got this the nat ones.
Well, that's because I rolled it as wisdom.
I guess that's fair.
Well, we
It's
could have it.
because it's because Crim was always about like learning stuff. Once you put it to practice, he falls apart.
He's a theorist, not a.
Yeah.
He's a consultant, but not an actual. No.
Yeah, Bugle, we can have it so, like, Wade attempts it, but maybe misses something, and then Cash, who's only, like, half paying attention, notices it.
Yeah.
Something
You
like that.
know what? Honestly, I got spell slots. Fuck it, let's do this. No, Turner, you have this. Shit, I slipped.
It's
Wade is
not-
gonna silver barbs himself.
Don't.
God.
Bugle, don't use a spell for this. It's not that important.
If you want.
You can if you want, but
Did Wade succeed on the check?
Wade got a.
18.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
okay. How much do you want to do this, Bugle?
God, I swear we have a dungeon crawl after this, but fuck it. Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Okay, let's see what I get.
So
All right,
what
well,
happens?
Okay,
So I reroll myself with disadvantage.
dirty 20.
He sabotages his own roll.
I've never seen silvery barbs used like that before.
I mean,
I don't know what to
I
say.
believe it's a target you can see. I think. I guess that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
To himself.
I'll go ahead and give Biggle Resolve just for.
Yeah. I think it deserves it.
Okay, then I believe Cashmere is the current winner, right? Highest roll.
Yes, he got a nat 20.
By the end of the day, when you're wrapping up, Alex, are you designating yourself as sort of the chef of the group?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay. If there's no objections, Huston certainly would be fine with it. Then while you are fixing some food with however everyone else is doing normal camp stuff, he would approach you, Cashmere. You've got a natural knack for this sort of thing? You've done it before?
He like looks around a bit. No? Am I doing it right? Oh, I guess I am.
Crim seems to be mourning the silk he accidentally cut with his claws when trying to be dexterous.
Turner will just kind of like just put a hand over him and just take it, and he'll mend it back together.
Nice.
Hedward just like stopped paying attention after a certain point, and his like just hands are working on their own. He's kind of in a bit of a state doing this. So,
Well, you're efficient, whether you want it or not. Actually, do you want to be our official inventory guy? I'll give you the logs, give you something to do with those quick hands of yours.
you know, I don't like carrying a lot, and I mean, Crim would be good for that. I mean, he's huge, but
Well, I mean, I could carry it, sure, but please don't make me touch it. He kind of looks at Turner, who's currently mending it.
We'll give you mittens.
I
fine.
was meant to wear mittens.
I guess I've got soft paws.
As long as it gets done, well, you know, I mean, hey, you're all great at things, but this is the silk of the company. This is what we're all about. It's Gardumble's prized export. And if you got a knack for it, I wouldn't want to waste it. It's up to you, though. No pressure. I'm sorry, no pressure, really.
Personally, I think we should have brought another one of those spiders with just in case, but I see your point.
Oh.
I'll handle it. I don't know how, but I'll handle it.
Yeah, I'll run it I'll run you through. I'll run through it with you in the next day or two and just make sure, check for the eggs and all that stuff we went over, and here's the logbook, and great.
Looks down at it. Yeah, great.
You've obtained a logbook that has like, okay, this is this crate, that barrel, this whatever. This is the humidity readings, the temperature, what's the quality looking like, anything askew. Congratulations, you're welcome.
He, like, skims through it. Kind of realizes that he doesn't care to look through all of it right now and just shuts it closed, puts it away.
Well,
Are you doing this, like, subtly, or right in front
Well,
of us?
he'll do this afterwards when Huston is gone.
Okay. Huston turns hostile. Okay, cool. And more days pass and pass and pass. Actually, not that many.
That's not back. Oh wait, do I? Oh wait, no. What? No.
At least one day passes, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we need a haven though, don't we? Or
yeah. We had one at town for sure, but
Yeah, that's true. You're on the road and caravan as it is.
fuck. So it goes.
So it goes. And you enter a different but similar pocket of Masozu. So I'll ping where you were before. You were going north. Quickly into the ecological area known as Namelon Forest. And we went over those images and how it looked and weather and such. Here, heading southeast, curling through the heart of Masozu and the northern part, It's different. It's jungly. There's larger, wider canopies. The terrain is a little less traveled, more wild. It's a place where the sun is beginning to have difficulty penetrating. You're starting to hear things in the distance. Wildlife that aren't foxes and chattering squirrels and songbirds. More like deep roars that might be a curse word in scale. Things that echo and chitter strangely.
I would probably
And
recognize if there was a curse word in scale.
Sorry for not listening for all the little Windows sounds if you heard
Wind.
that.
Okay.
Hey Tal, I have a question. Would the would this place like would the dark vision spell not work to breach the magical darkness here? It's a second level spell.
you don't know. You've yet to encounter any magical darkness.
Oh, we're not there yet? Okay. And, Doc, per the rules of this, I'm allowed to change out one spell on a long rest, or is it on a level up?
On a long rest.
Okay.
And an intermediate rest will count.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Get plenty of those.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to do that, but I guess we'll find
I
out.
already have dark vision prepared.
Cool.
Cashmere also has dark vision.
I think it's a special dark vision
Yeah.
for
Okay.
this one in particular. Yeah.
Well, the spell itself, it
I
doesn't-
don't expect it to work, but I'm gonna prepare it anyway just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still, I don't like this. The scales to hot shots at us outside of the range of that lamp would be fish in a barrel.
I know scale.
Fair, but
I can speak it as well, though I probably won't sound as pretty.
Oh, you can speak both scale and high chirp.
Well,
Crim looks a little envious for a moment.
don't worry, I probably sound about the same as you trying to speak high chirp.
God damn it! Just watch for ambushes. They're very good at that.
Who's gonna be ambushing us?
I don't think it'll. It's not. You're not. Thinking back to the warrior, are you?
I hope no one else here is either, but it shouldn't come to that. I hope it doesn't.
Well, I'd
It
certainly
does
hope
more
not.
Yeah, that stuff we don't talk about it much, and we're a bit privileged we didn't see much of it in Gerdumble. That was years ago, and
Yeah.
Bose is changing, you know?
About 8 or 9 to be precise. But 5 years of occupation takes a long time to forget. And some scars take a long time to heal. My little brother loved it here. Well, he was always the more relaxed sorts. Kind of drawing, and he pulls out a little sketchbook, and you can see this little drawing of like one of like the local plants. Like he flips to the very last page, and it's kind of like there, but you can see like it's there, but it's kind of like half, like kind of like half drawn, like a little faded away.
Is it incomplete or just faded?
Incomplete, we'll say.
Oh, I see.
It's pretty.
Yeah. I've
See.
got some good stories.
What is he doing now?
I'd rather not talk over too much of that. But
Oh, my apologies.
none taken. I did some good stories forward. This one time we pulled a good prank on the company commander. He was he roped me into it.
Yeah, maybe just to be safe, we could save the stories until Sunflag. Yeah?
Sure.
I mean, you know, like you said, you don't know who's around. There's villages around. People, gatherers, you never know who's listening.
Yes. Fair enough. And
Crim kind of looks around
Let's get moving.
nervously at that. And it got me a little paranoid.
Roll a perception check.
Oh,
In
good.
particular,
Crim, who said he's looking around nervously.
14. Not bad.
14. There's those creatures all around, but they sound feral and none are too close. You don't notice any eyes or ears on you.
Yeah. Go.
Crim doesn't see
Else,
anything.
okay. If there's anything else anyone wants to do intermediate rest worthy during this travel segment, please finalize it.
Nope.
See,
Take
got
it.
my spells switched around.
yeah, just taking a quick perusal at spells myself.
At one point, I might ritual cast Speak with Animals just to get an idea of what the wildlife around us is saying.
You get off my lawn!
Jerry, if I hear you one more time. Sorry. Okay, you cast that, and the jungle comes to life even more to your ears. It's primitive, instinctual things like, go away, I'll eat you, and oh, I hope I find a mate tonight, tweet, 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 tweet. And don't kill me, don't eat me, you know, nature's brutal.
There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about, like, almost like there's an unusual presence here or anything like that they're talking about or anything. Other than maybe us.
Can you give me an investigation check with advantage, please?
Wait, do I have... Yes, I do still have guidance prepared. Let's go ahead and use that.
God, it's so weird to think of preparing a cantrip.
14.
14. The entities of Misozu are on your side as you listen. You do notice one thing that stands out. It sounds like the call of some smallish dinosaur. There are dinosaurs in this world. They are normal in terms of the fauna. And it says, as if it's talking to itself, somewhat distressed cries as it's walking about maybe 100 yards from you. No tribute. No tribute. I think there will be unhappiness from the masters. No tribute. Sorry for them. Nothing about you, though.
Hey, we'll file that away for later.
Okay. And in the morning of the next day, you make it to a pocket of jungle that's different. And everyone who's paying attention at all to the scenery, please roll a nature check.
Yeah, Crim would be doing that.
Casual thing for Cashmere.
Alright, give me a low roll on
Nah, he's too spooked. I only got a 10.
it. They're in the trees, man.
One thing, that reminds me, when it's raining and stuff, I like to imagine that when they're walking, Crim will occasionally just, like, tilt his head up and open his mouth and just take the rain while going.
What a free-spirited thing to do. Living in the moment, man.
Yeah. In the jungle.
Welcome to the jungle.
Okay, so we got 9, 19, 21, 7, and not Wade. Okay. Or wait, who didn't roll?
Nemo got a 10.
Oh, okay, no, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get much.
Well, DC 10 for one thing, and 20, so we'll... sorry, Turner will get the other one. So, those of you who met the DC 10, you are proficient enough in how things grow and how nature works to recognize that this pocket of jungle you've now entered is undergoing ecological succession. There aren't as tall trees, there's younger trees, different sorts of the very biodiverse flora that would grow in a basically a rainforest like this. Turner, you understand from the types of things that are growing here and other subtle clues that a great fire caused this. A fire that swept through this area for miles. And you know that this area is not prone to fire. But currently on this road, more of a path. Yeah, it wasn't recent by any means, but everything that's changed in this wide area is because the Great Fire swept through.
Is it something that I can do a history roll on to try to see if it's like, are there any records of this, or is it just we wouldn't know that?
Sure.
Okay.
Good roll.
Unfortunately, I did not roll as well for that one. 10.
No, you think about historical events that occurred here. There was some occupation, some territory dispute or something with Mamelon, Masozu. Not too much of interest happens here. Maybe it was an unnatural wildfire. Maybe it has to do with the druids. Yeah, you're not sure.
He's gonna guess
Seems to be-
based.
It seems to be recovering at least.
He's
Yeah.
gonna guess based on Wade's not particularly reacting to that. Maybe it wasn't something caused by his side of the conflict.
No, he would see. He just seemed a bit. He seemed to be staring at it, like staring at the dirt. Like,
As far as you know, is this recent?
no, it's my knowledge. It was about doing the math. Yeah, about 4 years back. They were certainly thorough.
I see. Oh, I won't press for more.
Oh. What are you talking about? I just see a
So-
bunch of spooky plant scenery right now.
I can tell the full story. I just ask you don't judge.
I think we're a bit past that now. Go ahead. Tell us whatever.
Well, I remember. You see, his voice is oddly lower. Like he kind of looks around, like as if aware if someone's listening. I remember how easy the conflict was at the start. Ford and I, our detachment, we rolled in many times without a shot. I don't think it always stayed like that. It turned into a quagmire. 1 year stretched into the next. We'd clear villages. We thought they were clear. Then a few weeks later, they'd be launching assaults at us from the trees as if nothing happened. I told you a while back there was a time where I let my bitterness, my anger and resentment infest those around me. You can see the results. They deserve better.
This place was set on fire during the war?
By my order.
Oh.
What?
I told myself many things at the time. We had been searching this dank, dark village for insurgents, supplies. It's one person's house. I don't remember her face, but we've been searching for a good few hours. She seemed nice, amicable. Until we tore up the floorboards, found stacks of crossbow bolts, arrows. Far too many for a single person, even though your conclusion was obvious. I got a report on my lap a few minutes later. He pulls out the sketchbook. He just kind of holds it up. I remember the words. My brother was dead. Shot through the nape.
Oh,
Patrol I sent him on.
Huston at this point has pulled the caravan to a halt in the wake of this news. It's kind of like doing an impromptu like camp position, like encircled protection, like looking around for onlookers.
Thank you for your candor on this. Think of all people you all deserve to know. When I got the news, I remember anger. I thought that everyone was in on it. Every single village, farm, blacksmith, they all had to be. They were the ones supporting the insurgents, of course. So, I told her to admit it. She said no. She said no again. When I pressed, after refusal, I looked at the men next to me. I told her to find her children. I know, stupid. Even that didn't work. Not my truth spell, as I called it. So, I looked to the other men next to me. I said to walk for 10 miles. Take everyone. Drag the insurgents from their houses, and let them watch them burn. I told myself, of course, the insurgents, they hid amongst the populace, used them as human shields. It wasn't my responsibility.
Not human,
That-
but yeah.
Yeah, that fighting restrained war would make for a longer one, more cruel in the end, but in the end, it was kind of productive. I woke up that night. I remember the nightmare. I realized the foolish I'd been. I sprinted into the night, but I was too late. Now you see. My parents had a good war. They couldn't even manage that.
I see.
I understand if you'd rather not have my company for this area. In general, it's of a burden at this point, I think you'll agree. At least here. But,
Will they recognize you?
maybe. Maybe not. Depends on who you ask.
That person does. Sorry.
I was lieutenant now. Back then, I was commander of the entire detachment, the occupation. My role was more hands-off usually.
Did the people? Did they burn with it, or did they just have to find other homes?
My orders were explicit to drag them from their homes. Even then, I didn't want anyone dead, but distinction is negligible.
Well, I wouldn't say that. They're still alive, even if they had to resettle. Doesn't erase what was done, of course, but...
I told you, Cashmere, that I'd only killed those who were trying to kill us. I suppose that's still true, but I was a liable mission.
Really now?
Yes.
That uniform you like to wear. What does it mean to you?
I'm still proud of the men next to me. What we faced, what we endured. If not,
The conflict you initiated in the first place?
I can
went along
kind of
with it,
see
but-
why people don't want to see that that uniform being worn. Not sure why you'd have pride in something you apparently have shame in too.
His feelings are complicated.
It's not going to be that complicated to people who see him.
hence why I'm trying to conceal my identity here. But
Well, I
Still
mean,
can
that's
see-
not really the point. To conceal, I mean, I know I'm kind of silly for the one to mention something like this, but you know, I'd probably want to get away from something like that and try something else instead of wearing it on me.
But elsewhere, where it's not inconvenient for you, you're still proud of what you've done.
I suppose I'm looking for some sense of redemption. For that, for me.
I don't
You're
think
right.
there's going to be much redeeming of the uniform behind it. You could just find ways to redeem yourself, maybe, instead of giving a very wrong impression of someone deliberately wearing the thing that burned entire areas.
The men who fought next to me, what I put them through, they don't want to run from that. I feel like they deserve better if they saw me running from what they wear.
How do they wear it?
Except they still serve Mamelon because they found pride in it.
Oh, they didn't change the uniform. Okay.
Huston cuts in. We never really understood what the war was caused by, but it was caused some issue from Mamelon, right? Is that where you were sent from?
Something like that. I think at the start, I don't think I even really knew the full details. Mamelon was, best I heard of it. The folks there were always interested in this forest. We figured there's not much populace in it compared to Mamelon. Some folks questioned why it should be left unoccupied, unused, when it could be when the resources and the land could do so much good. When I heard of it, when I got the orders to occupy, we heard that a caravan of ours was sent into Misozu, looking to bargain or find some agreement to exchange for that land. That they were slaughtered to the man. I didn't know the full details myself. All I knew were my orders. Just make sure such violence can never happen again. And I wanted to do well by my family. We fought in the Outclassed War. I figure this is my chance.
So to stop
Yeah.
violence from happening, you set everything on fire?
This is why people like to call themselves pacifists.
Wait.
I understand it.
Wade, what have you done
Right.
since then?
After that day, you're right, Crim, that what I ordered was inhumane and counterproductive, to return many more against us that day than we ever stopped. It dragged
Yeah,
on for about another
can see that.
year or so, conflict, but at the very end, I realized we had no purchase in this. Men were dying now, hanging by my order. My brother was dead. So, I ordered a retreat back to Mamelon. Occupation ended. And
After that?
yes, they got to see the man who, with all the resources Mamelon could bring to bear, lost to war to a bunch of lizards. I was demoted back to lieutenant, given that corner office, 3 papers to sign a year. Nothing to do. Left only in office because of my family. And that's when I got into the adventuring field. As you can see, I had the free time for it. And I found purpose in it. As I said, I guess I'm looking for some sense of redemption.
I think one thing you could probably start doing to redeem yourself a little as a small step would be to stop hating scale so much. Kind of colors that a little differently now, doesn't it? When I think about it. I'll go over here. And he kind of shuffles over to a different spot of the camps of the impromptu camp.
It's so easy. Convenient.
That is.
What I've said. I'm sure Crim, Alex, you can use a test. I suppose I knew Little Lost for a long time. Looking like the man wanted to find much of the same. And I'm sorry for that.
Huston has looked sort of horrified, but has become a bit more neutral. He comes a bit closer and pats you a bit on the shoulder. I'm sure there's atrocities on both sides, right?
Cashmere laughs. Well, you know, the best things in life are never easy, Wade. So maybe stop doing the easy things. Okay?
You're
What's the hard
Right.
things?
I don't know.
checking
That's
my
something
tongue,
for him
I
to show up.
suppose.
Would you say, Beagle?
Checking my tongue, I suppose. I'm sorry to have brought this all onto you. You're all good men. You've done more than me than I deserve. And what do you all think?
I don't really know. I've only read about stuff like this. I've never actually met someone who set everything on fire to a forest once. Though, usually the books didn't show them very nicely. It's kind of weird to think about.
That's fair. Anyone else?
Oh,
In
like
fact-
I said, it's a bit odd to be almost, like I said, proud of what you've done.
I wish you go back, slap myself.
Well, you
that day,
can't.
Punch myself. Well, I suppose only a select few in this world can.
Yeah, not unless one of these crazies with the time powers allow us to go back. Maybe we'll never know. And maybe it's time to stop dwelling on it.
Prim glances
Personally,
at the relatively diminished forest. It might be hard to not dwell on it for some people, but I think I get that.
I mean, I guess. But Wade, what are you going to do now? Are you going to do anything differently?
If I ever see them again, I'll. Suppose the first thing is to say I'm sorry.
Right. What else?
I've been a coward for a lot of this. I always wondered how my family would feel if I resigned, if they ghost entirely for all they've done, all they suffered through. But I suppose in the end, it's what I deserve. If you want me to burn that uniform, I will.
I don't think that's really our call.
Well, maybe when we're done with whatever adventuring you might want to do, you could always look into ways to help out this forest. You know? That's kind of the most direct and what was the word you used? Practical way to atone.
If they want me there, or if they want me gone. I suppose we shall see. It's just-
Oh, it's
I hope. Go on.
no. You're still saying. I'll let you finish first.
I hope this anger can one day go away. Try. I miss my brother.
So now we're going to go and try to steal these people's silk.
Funny how it goes, is it not?
Well, not to be callous, but I'm kind of just wondering if we even continue with this, what our approach for this would even be.
Well, I'm hiding the uniform, I guess, regardless of how he feels.
Yeah, a couple things, if you don't mind, as the caravan master. First, Wade, personal feelings aside, there's nothing wrong with being proud of where you came from and patriotic. I've met a lot of people, really, from Amalon like that. I think I understand that. And I get the want to apologize and atone. I really understand where that's coming from. But I think part of our job is to give the Swamp Silk Exports and all its employees a good name, and I think that showing up, announcing yourself, and apologizing might be counterproductive. I will really request we try to just gloss over all that war history, if we can. As for the selling of silk, funnily enough, hasn't really been a big populace in this area to sell silk to. I think we're just passing through.
Really?
Oh.
Where to?
Oh, Sunflag, it's way down here.
No.
I misunderstood
that-
where we were on the map.
I can do that on my own time, after this contract's over. I just wonder, what am I without that uniform? You've seen my magic, how I talk, how I inspire. It's what I learned. It's where my family comes from. It's all I've known.
Well, I mean, I basically burned everything, including the clothes on my back at one point, and you can start fresh. I had the support of my parents as well, and my village, and I wanted to see the world, and I didn't have anything much on me other than that, and I think it went fine enough.
I'm sure you faced pain from that process. Did your old self have anything to regret?
Dying,
Uh,
or getting close to it, that's a pretty big regret.
I suppose, theoretically, as a thought experiment, if your old self had done something like I'd done, and they regret to their very being, and from your process they forgot it all, would be right? They left it all behind?
I forgot it. Well, it's one thing to atone, but I don't know about forgetting it. You just repeat the same mistake if you forgot about it.
Some things you shouldn't run from, I suppose.
But that's not the same as, keeping it as a memento. It's gonna come off the wrong way.
True enough. Well, I suppose what I know I'm doing after this. Thank you for helping me reach that choice. And I'm glad I was the one who got to tell you all this. It hurts like hell.
Well, Wade, if you insist on wearing that uniform, make it mean something better, I guess.
But once we're out of the region, you mean Cashmere? Don't you?
Of course. Of course.
Or,
Okay.
please don't get us killed. Please.
I'll do all I can. I'll stay in the back when we have to converse.
Guys, I think we're losing the force of the tree. Oh.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to my soapbox. And I'm sorry.
Hassan, yeah, he just looks. It takes him some time to get back to the front and decide to start moving again.
I can imagine him taking this a bit harder than the others, for sure.
Move again, you do. And enter a subtle transition. You're still very much in the jungle. You're still very much on a hard-to-see path in light that isn't quite dim. You begin to see some yellowed, dried grass in sheets, like a roof on a building. Some exotic wood paneling. You're seeing steps up to these homes, shops, raised up on supports against the muck of the ground. Subtly, you're entering a village or settlement of some kind. You begin to see people watching you.
What kinds of people?
Happy squirrels. No.
Crim has a sense that this is going to be a bit less friendly of a place just in case, and he dons his disguise, which is his message board.
Got it. People who are uplifted, like yourselves, wearing clothing, armed, but decidedly primitive. You know, these are short spears, more like javelins that are tied with twine, stone, very finely made, but, you know, this isn't an automated, productive process. This isn't from an armory. This is from the land around them. Short bows, lots of uplifted dinosaurs, reptiles, some frogs. You do see the odd, mammal or aquatic or avian, but it's very, very reptilian dominated. And I use dinosaurs as part of reptiles. I don't know if that's taxonomically true. Yeah. Watching you, not with hostility, just surprise and curiosity. Like, oh, look who's rolling through. What's everyone's reaction?
Bit of
Wade is just kind of like,
Go
Sorry, go on.
first.
oh yeah, Wade is just like, he's kind of has this blank white stare, just kind of like looking at it when you can't quite see, just kind of like pacing forward, like not really recognizing it.
Turn will just kind of like mutter to Wade, if you need to get away, there's space in the inside the caravans.
Not sure. Just I'll walk into the back, I suppose.
He's not telling you to, but he's saying like, if you need to.
All right.
But he'll kind of like realizing that since Crimson is kind of incognito and Wade is probably not their best representative, he realizes that he's probably going to be the default one, so he'll at least try to be available in case they need to speak with anyone.
Okay. Is everyone else more or less just walking along with the wagons?
Yeah, Cashmere is just walking alongside, and he's trying to be pretty casual alongside the group.
Maybe give like subtle nods to people that I make eye contact with.
Okay. A couple of Dilophosaurus children that have run up from the brush, like chatter at you, talking to themselves, like, oh, it's a salamander, right? Nice, axolotl, sister, okay. And they leave you alone.
Yes, that's a type of salamander. So, yes, you are correct.
Are they speaking in common or?
They're talking in common, yeah. Actually, yes, they would. And the brother, the sister, are like, told you, and they run back. And yeah, despite Huston being in the front, soon a uplifted Tyrannosaur about 6.5, no, probably like 6.5 feet tall, comes out onto the road in what might be the center of this village, but the brush is so dense, there's no paths, there's no tavern here. It's hard to say how big this place is or if you're even in the center, but at any rate, he comes out and addresses you, who've made yourself prominent, Turner, in scale, looking past Huston, who's far closer to him. This rumbling, textured language comes out. Welcome. Passing through? What's going on?
Turner will kind of clear his throat and then just start by saying, pardon the accent, the throat's not the best for this type of dialect, but yeah, we are passing through.
Right. What you have in the barrels and the crates? Merchants, I guess?
And kind of nod, then you'll kind of like look back to Huston and then ask do I give the company sales pitch or what do I do?
Huston's like staring at Wade, like
Yeah,
he's snapping out of it.
You
So
can see like Wade's like he's got like he's like shivering a bit, but he's trying to like keep it to himself.
And Huston's like, yeah, if you can.
He kind of like looks a little bit uncertain, but what's the name of the company again specifically?
Swamp Silk Exports.
Okay. He'll kind of look back and say, yeah. Yeah, we are part of the Swamp Silk Exports from Gerdumble and making our way past to Sunstag?
Flag.
Flag.
Sunflag. We have the best silk in the region.
The name's Gerdumble, Swamp Silk. There's a couple of small hoots of excitement and nods from the onlookers. Welcome back. That's great. You planning to stop here? We could use some of it. We've got some gold pieces we can trade.
He'll just elect his answers. I think we can.
All right. Yeah. Come over here. There's a clearing. We'll have some. Hey, Rogar, light up a fire. Bring him some meat. That fresh kill. The tail part. Meaty, good. He starts ordering some people. Not like he's in charge, but
At least
other
restricted.
people are. Yeah. And Huston, like, yeah, to the lizard, and you're brought to a little pocket of better cover from the elements. And yeah, he would start opening some things as people look around, homes, come back with some gold pieces that they all could have put together, giving to the Tyrannosaur guy.
Okay.
And he'll start talking with them in common. It seems, yeah, they speak common too.
Turner would kind of maybe be talking with Huston and the others if he's able to kind of like gather himself. And say perhaps a start even if they don't know who it's coming from. He's talking to the group not the wizards right now while they're all kind of gathering up their funds and stuff like that. Maybe a discount could be at least one way to help them out.
Oh, talking to the group. Got it.
Yeah.
Deserve it?
What?
I'd say they deserve it.
Not my call, but I have no objection.
Sure.
Crim nods.
I'm sure we'll get more buyers in Sunflag anyway.
Who wants to propose this to Huston and make a persuasion check?
I have high persuasion. I can do it.
I don't.
Okay.
So
You have high
That's just-
persuasion?
Yeah, I have +5.
Let's go.
Oh, wait. No, wait, that's perception. My bad. I have
I was
+3.
like, you're a monk. How?
He is proficient in it, though.
Very convincing monk.
You like me, right? Otherwise, I'll punch you.
My bad. But yeah,
Talk
plus
with my
3.
fists.
That is a dirty 20.
Oh, filthy 20. Okay. You say the word discount and something primal and irate comes out of Huston's face. Just
I'll-
a teeny little bit.
I'll burn what's left of this place.
But he quickly nods and puts on a sympathetic expression, and he starts waving away some of the other handfuls of gold that is brought to him. It seems like this transaction will take, half an hour. See some people coming back, bringing things for like a loom where they could start attaching the silk to it. Just basically mobilizing various trade objects, weapons, whatever, to just use the silk immediately as it's presented. They seem like very practical folks.
Crim seems impressed by this. He looks around if there's any sense of books.
You see
In a
zero
place like
books.
this. Yeah. Crim kind of looks a little sad about that, but doesn't say anything.
Probably too
Oh.
soon to make a joke about not having the paper.
Oof, yeah.
Guys, I'm
and
from
that's-
California. I can make these jokes.
Oh, too soon. Okay.
Sorry.
The Tyrannosaur introduced himself as Slied. And he doesn't seem to be too interested in this transaction. He wanders over to you guys. He might, his eyes pass over you, Wade, but not whoa, knowing look. If you're passing, and he speaks in common now, a little bit more slowly, and some odd word choice, but he'll say, "You are passing through to Sunflag," you said?
He nods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good luck. I see you brought one of those new lights. They're getting popular around here. Good. You should know. You should go in with an appropriate tithe. Some of those who were in the jungles from ours, empty-handed, were eaten or haven't come back.
I think I heard something from the animals in the forest about tribute.
Tribute, yes. That's a better word.
Do you have any idea what they're looking for?
Refused to talk to them. It seems they have accepted gold pieces, goods that aren't found here, exotic, strange things, interesting things. It's hard to tell what they find valuable, but if you think it's valuable, I think they will too.
Is it these druids you were talking about?
I'm guessing he says that to Hudson.
He's talking to the person speaking to us.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
He looks like he wants to answer your question, but then turns back to Alex. You heard them? What do you mean?
My magic, I can speak with feral animals.
Wow. And some other people who might overhear this and understand common also look at you twice. Well, that will serve you well, then, in communicating. They are servants, turning back to Turner, of the Dark Druids. And you can't tell which ones are, unless they've got a basket or something on them to collect the tribute.
Do you know what happens to those whose tributes are not accepted?
Sounds like they die.
Thank you, Alex.
He turns and his tail, which is like, if he turned too quickly and he was, blasé about it, he could just smack someone over. It is a sad time for Harkito. our village and all the villages around here. We are down again in our numbers and our luck.
Because of what's going on with this need to collect tributes.
And if you don't have them, yes.
Is there anything we can do?
I don't know why this changed. Only recently did they start doing this. They do not know what their perspective is. Do they see themselves as kings of all of Masozu? Is this vengeance they seek? We sent out some of our own not too long ago. We hope they will have answers for us. We would not ask you to do anything. Only wish to offer you caution and knowledge as you pass through, that you are not dead on the other side.
Crim kind of perks up and looks at the others, and then he seems to be flipping through his messages that are pre-written, and he finds one. He's
Tur will actually kind of like give you a will give you a hint here. Alex, what is he trying to say?
Crim quickly finds the one he's looking for, and he sets it at the front, and it says, "My name's Crim. I'm here to help." And then he
Can't help.
faces the others.
That's a smart dragon you have. We have some dragons here. Not as good with words.
He's quite precocious.
Yeah, he's a good man. Thank you.
We taught him well.
Strides over to you, Crim. You know, a guy who could maybe almost rival your size when you're enlarged in combat. It's like, so like half pats, half strokes the back of your head with like the scaly, gnarled scales at the back of his hand.
Crim seems to enjoy it.
Good beast. Is there any other information I might provide you?
Are these dark druids, do they tend to be any specific species?
We have not seen them. They are in the deep parts where we do not dare tread. At least not without many gifts, which we are running low on. Near the Midnight Trench, far southeast. It sounds like it's a cult, like it is growing. Not sure how it started. Not even sure what species they are.
They only prevent you from going in that direction, or basically leaving your village at all.
No, but the farther into Masozu you go, you will run across their servants, maybe even them. They do not hinder if you follow whatever mysterious ways they are trying to establish or give gifts to their servants. We are half as lost as you are.
And I suppose it wouldn't be as easy for you to just turn around, huh? Well, if by some miracle there's something that can be done, at least some information we can glean. We'll be on the lookout. You've been hospitable to us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, he looks sad, nods.
Glad. Shall we get going?
Maybe let's take a moment to stretch our legs.
Fair enough.
I think I need to check in the stock back there. Could you please help me? He's looking at Wade, but he doesn't say his name.
Of course. Whatever you need.
I'll give you resolve, Turner, for a couple things of that scene.
Thank you. Well, if you were wanting redemption, I think it kind of fell into your lap. At least an opportunity.
But too easily, don't you think?
Well, if you think that this would be easy, then I suppose.
I'll help any way I can. They deserve it.
Turn will kind of look. He'll kind of like ask Alex the logman, how much do you think it would? How much would Huston charge for, let's say? He'll just like throw out like a random amount, like let's say 5 blankets worth of silk.
I don't know. You'd say like 280 gold pieces, something
Oh
like
God, that much? I wasn't quite going for something that high. We'll say like
Yeah.
maybe throw it around somewhere in the ballpark of like 20 or so gold. Like, hey, maybe if they need a tribute, they'll kind
Some mittens.
Yeah, and you could think of this silk as like the best silk in the world. It's a bit of a luxury item.
How much
If-
would like a custom?
Well, I don't necessarily know if there should be a company expense. He's kind of like looking, but if there was someone who needed at least some redemption.
Yeah, you said it was 280, correct?
Well, I wasn't quite suggesting that much, but whatever. I guess you'd feel comfortable offering.
He was just that was just an arbitrary amount for
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. You could see the amount of gold that Huston with the discount is collecting after this transaction of really not that much silk. It's for like small amounts is like probably 30 gold.
Yeah, whatever
It's-
you would, if you were to go along with the suggestion, whatever you'd want to spend. But obviously, this is entirely up to you because I'm not going to just offer an amount for you to spend. I'm just giving the idea. I'm just giving the idea.
Will my half plate?
Will in here saying, "Hey, by the way, why don't you just pay these people?"
Hey, in fairness, in 2 other campaigns Bugle and I were in, how much gold did I give him?
Wow.
Huston, how much did they pay?
It was about 32 gold pieces with circumstances.
Call on the house, my tab.
Oh,
Please.
this sort of muddies things as an employee, but given what we, that is, are you sure?
At least for it now. Whatever they need.
All right. We can dock it from the sales we make at Sun Flag, or however you want to do it.
If I were Lester Man, I'd throw that much in my pocket and call it a day. I hope I don't get forgiven for that.
It's a small penance, but those who are maybe those who are holy would say you're on the start, but I would not think myself arrogant enough to speak for that.
It's a good gesture.
Crim nods.
Austin finishes up the transactions. Maybe an hour has passed. The day is still young. And he would ask you, Turner, to talk to Sliad or whoever a bit, just to make sure. Oh, double check we're on the right route. Maybe double check that against you know whose suggestions as the logistics guy, which now makes a lot more sense. He says quietly. You know, just directions basically.
Yeah, cross-referencing, dotting our T's, crossing our
Yeah.
I's. I think that's how the expression goes.
Heading new
Mhm.
villages, that sort of thing. And then you are free to proceed if you wish.
I have one more thing. Small thing.
And one more thing.
A bit after that happens, Cashmere will try to catch up to Alex, wherever he is at that moment. What's he up to?
Good question. So this is just as we're kind of wrapping up sales stuff.
Haven't left yet.
Yeah, we're getting ready to leave and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just kind of checking and making sure all the wagons are secured and everything.
All right. Cashmere will just saunter up to him from behind. Say lightly, "Hey, Alex. Quick question. You're familiar with the forests and stuff? That's not
To
offensive, is it?
some extent.
Okay. I'm assuming you don't understand what all this Dark Druid business is about, right?
Not really.
There's nothing similar to it that you've seen before?
Not in person. I can see how it could be done, but not really, no.
You know if this sort of thing is common, cults in the forest, sacrifices, they're not sacrifices, they're tributes. Different thing. I understand.
Can't say I've ever encountered anything quite like this before.
Neither have I. I'm kind of out of my element here.
Well, I do have a few tricks up my sleeve to try to help us get to the bottom of it, at least.
Really? What would that be?
Well, again, being able to talk with the forest animals will help. On top of that, druids have a secret language that we use, and I could potentially use it to decipher any hidden messages they might have left behind to each other.
That's good to know. Do you talk with forest animals often?
Not really.
Sorry, weird question. Yeah. In case you didn't realize, I don't talk to many druids. He kind of trails off. Not sure what to add there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Cool. We should probably get going.
Everyone ready?
Someday Cash will learn how to end a conversation.
I suppose.
I will go ahead and ritual cast Speak with Animals before we head out.
Okay.
How long does it currently last?
An hour.
Oh, cool.
Let me double check. I was wrong about this before. It might be 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think at least in previous editions it might have been 10 minutes, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Damn. Baldur's Gate
As you-
spoiled us.
As you finish casting the spell, the riding lizard, who's, harness and stuff you were perhaps checking, is like, it's fine. Stop fussing over me.
He's good.
Oh, are you just doing that in preparation for the next bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think during the downtime, Crim probably would have interacted with some of the villagers, not speaking, but just seeing how they're doing. If there are any kids that come by, he'd let them climb them and stuff like that.
Oh.
Otherwise, yeah, once they're set, he'd politely leave.
Okay. Can you roll me a history check, please?
History. Let's see. 17.
17. You understand it, interacting with the populace here. This place used to be a lot bigger. There's a lot of empty structures that were surely used for housing. This place is definitely down on its luck, especially in terms of number of people. And not acutely and sorry to use medical lingo. recently and more long term as well.
Yeah, Crim seems determined to find a way to help them, and that's probably going to be dealing with this druid problem. But that's a problem for next session.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you start to head out, one last thing. Roll for initiative. No. Everyone, please roll me a hearing-based perception check.
Ooh, I have a bonus on that. I have advantage.
6!
Well, we start off session with resolve, so let's just burn this one just because. Let's turn this 8 into an 8.
Nice.
22.
Oh,
I need to roll twice, which is good because I can.
I'll read the result. I gotta burn it too.
Oops. Plus 5. Hold on.
Wade's out of it, guys.
21. Okay.
21. 21. Also.
Cashmere and Alex, as you're gathering up, well, just as you're starting to roll out of this dense pocket of village structures, and the structures are getting less frequent, few and fewer eyes on you, people starting to work on the stuff with silk, or continuing to. You both hear a rustle, something close, like like something like a squirrel running along some leaves that get in its way as it goes up the tree, or a snake. You hear a rustle. I'm overly describing it. And when you look that direction, perhaps 40 feet away, standing in the midst of a bush next to a tall tree, there is an uplifted raccoon, a young man. He's wearing the same green military uniform as Wade used to wear. And he's watching as you go through this village.
Oh. Next time.
We just leave it there? Or?
No.
Yeah, Cashmere, with his ears perked up, watches him as he goes past. He's gripping like the edge of the cart harder now. Like he's ready to spring into action.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Calculating your to hit bonus, no doubt.
I'm not going to do anything immediately. I'm going to kind of wait until we're a little more past him. Because does he seem to be following us?
If you don't immediately react, his expression changes to like a watchful one, solemnness, as if to reassure the way you, Cashmere, tighten your grip on the wagon. That's all he does.
Hey.
And if you want, we can continue the interaction next time, if you want to not do anything immediately.
Well, what I was going to say is, for a little bit of a distance away to where I don't think he's going to be able to see me, I am going to use Channel Nature for Wild Companion, which allows me to cast Find Familiar.
Oh.
Oh.
And so it is going to take the form of an owl.
Who is?
And I am going to command it to kind of take a look at what that guy's doing. While I am within 100 feet of it, well, and again, since we're walking, I think me trying to see through its eyes, blinding myself, is a bad idea.
You can just ride on Crim.
We can get into the mechanics of it and how you're traveling next time.
And I will also say that as they're going by, like once they're a bit more farther away, Cashmere will keep his eyes locked on this guy and will lean his head back a bit and say, "Hey, Wade.
Yes?
You don't know of anybody else from your platoon that are still here, right?"
Coalition. Best of my
Whatever.
knowledge. I should be recalled back to the border, or Mamelon.
Right. Good
But
to know.
I've been out of the loop for a while.
And with that, as you roll away, as Alex summons this owl out of nowhere, that is where we shall call it for today.
All right.
Yes. Good sesh.
Yeah, that's fun. We gotta beat up
Yeah.
a clergyman, and then we gotta go into the dark forest.
Yeah.
Spooky.
You guys know everything you need to know about Wade. It took half an hour.
Well,
Yeah, big backstory reveals there. Unexpected.
Very interesting developments.
Thank y'all for giving me the spotlight going along with it.
No problem.
thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.